Hello, hello, hello. All right, all right, all right. You know what time it is out there. You're ready for us to be back. I know you are. If you're not ready, it's okay. I'm ready enough for the both of us. Are you good out there? Are you feeling it? I am feeling it, and I am so very excited. And I know that you got to be excited out there too, because you know what? What's the alternative? Why not, right? Are you ready out there? I feel you ready. I feel your energy. Okay, everybody, that's it. Here I am. I'm your host, Jessica Kutch, and this is Profound Professionals. It's an interview series that's been coming to you for 10 years now from all over the globe. Yes, that's right. We travel the world just for you, and we find industry experts that help improve your personal life and grow your business. Today, we are setting your business. Well, actually, we're cutting the shackles from your wrists of that business that has held you hostage. We're going to set you free. It is a revolution today because we have Kathy Baldwin, and she is the author of You Are Not the System. That's right. And she's also the founder of Finally Business Systems. Finally. That means already it's your past you. It's late. Finally, you're for a very important date. Where she removes the founder dependency. So no more depends for me, no more dependency. We are extracting all that knowledge. It's not painful, it's not a lobotomy. They're going to get that founder intelligence, and they're going to design the business systems that carry the load so that the business can scale. And you, that's right, you out there, the founder, have freedom, the real kind of freedom of choice of how you're going to spend your time, how much money is going to be made for you, because the more systems you have, that bigger stack of money I'm thinking is coming. That's what I'm thinking is coming. Welcome, Kathy, to the show, and thanks for being here.
Oh my God, Jessica, I've never had a better introduction ever. I loved it. Your energy is incredible.
I told you you're headed down the rabbit hole with me, and we're all a little mad here, especially at this point in the week. Wow, sir, what a week it's been for me. And that's what makes systems so fab. It lets you just pop in, show up in the parts of your business that make your heart glow and light you up the most, and then let everyone else do everything else and all the other things and tools and AI and automations. Take it from there. And you can't leave it to just those AIs and those automations. You need to have a human being double checking and triple checking on it, but that human being does not have to be you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
talk to us about how this became your journey and story. How did you become the systems queen?
Well, I spent 40 years in corporate, everything from sales team, sales management operations, QA, project management. I mean, you name it, I was involved in it.
Mm.
And so having that well-rounded knowledge of how businesses works and how one piece affects all the other pieces
Mhm.
gave,
Dominoes,
gave me,
man, dominoes. Not
yeah,
always the
yeah.
fun way.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than when QA is blaming sales that they didn't get knowledge or something happens. And so I was able to really make a good difference to corporate businesses in the real world. And at some point,
I love that the entrepreneurs, the solopreneurs, the small business owners, that's not the real world. that's that's the pretend world. What she means is the mega world. And you know what? I'm in love. I'm madly in love with the solopreneur, the entrepreneur, the small business owner around the corner that has a boutique. But I am equally madly in love with the 100 plus employees in the Fortune 1000. And I'll tell you why. They all have their place. Those strip malls, those little strip malls in your neighborhood around the town, and
yep,
that's just that little tiny row of businesses there. They don't survive without a really strong anchor. And sometimes when that anchor store goes down, like Domino's, like you're talking about, all those businesses, small and otherwise, fold, right? Until another strong anchor is pulled in to pull in some of that traffic. And they also we learn a lot from big business, and and there's so many families that are supported by big business, and so there it all has its place. I'm not
yes,
saying everything should be big business. And I'm saying our backbone of our country is on the backs of the small business owner, and that soulpreneur and that entrepreneur is thriving out of the World Wide Web being born and AI being born and all of these things that now make it more possible than ever for you to be a successful multimillionaire, and it be you and maybe a couple VAs and some AI services. I mean, it really is unbelievable the transformation business has made in the years since it started. I just want to be clear that it's my personal opinion and viewpoint. They all have value. Um, and I think Kathy is there too. And we also want to make sure you remember that this is a podcast for your enjoyment and your entertainment. And yes, you should probably book an appointment with Kathy at some point, but we are not giving you financial, medical, or legal advice. I'm the mama and the young hot nana of a lot of people, but I'm not your mama. So go talk to your attorney or your doctor, your financial planner, or whoever else it is you think you need to talk to for that serious advice. But maybe have a chat with Kathy after you listen to this podcast. But we're here for entertainment, education, and hopefully a whole lot of fun and a couple of laughs at least along our journey here. So, but you were saying that you were in the corporate world. You're making a huge difference. You were creating these systems so that their dominoes did not fall down. And now you're taking this into a space that super needs your love, guidance, and support, and really will be so much more successful and happy. Right? Because just because you step out of the corporate world doesn't mean you haven't made yourself your own. And I hear this all the time, your own 24/7 gig. You left the 40-hour a week or 50-hour a week job so that you could go work for yourself 24/7.
Yeah, that's exactly why I do what I do with Finally, is because so many people like me leave corporate because the environment changed, jobs changed, technology changed, everything changed. We changed. There's a lot of us who hit a certain age and we go, you know what? I got a lifetime of wisdom that I want to do something personally with and do something that's just mine. And so many founder-led businesses are going out and creating businesses based on that expertise, but they don't have the whole corporate container, that whole system that allowed them to shine there before, and everything now is on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And having that structure and knowing, okay, well, how many systems do I need? And what do I not know that I don't know, right? So because not knowing what we don't know is one of the most challenging parts, I think, about being a soulpreneur. We know, and we're very smart and very passionate about usually our one main thing. And then we have some basic knowledge. I mean, there's some super intelligent people out there. None of us are, completely blindsided that, okay, I need to have a sales system. I probably need some sort of lead system. I need some sort of onboarding, some sort of this, some sort of that. But, there's some missing holes if we're not a high level expert. That's, in these larger corporations, they're hiring someone that is, okay, this is your job. You look at the money and you keep your finger on the pulse of the money, and you're called the CFO. Okay, operations. Okay, you're the COO. Okay, marketing. You're the CMO. Oh, technology. Oh, you're the CTO. And you suddenly have the high level expert with every one of those C-suite hats on. And I mean, that'll give you a neck ache. That's a lot of hats to carry on your head right there. And especially if you really aren't an expert in every one of those things, and it would be difficult to be that. And there's some wonderful things out there. There's fractional, and consultants and coaches, and there's people who can fill those spaces for you. But it's nice to have someone like Kathy who can give you, walk you through and talk you through and build out a plan for the whole picture and and how. Let's sort of take almost like a checkup of some kind, business checkup, where you see, where am I doing really well, and where do we have systems, and where do we need to strengthen some, or where are we missing some altogether? And I think that's probably one of the best things that you provide businesses. So talk to us about that part of it.
Yeah, one thing I want to address is so many people think a system is a tool.
Mm-hmm.
And a tool is used in the
Part
place
of the
of a system.
system.
So, I mean, you were absolutely talking about systems when you're talking about lead generation system, a sales system, an accounting system, all
Mm-hmm.
these other, those are systems.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that you put one tool in and say, okay, you take care of this. That's
Mm-hmm.
not how it works, because there's an entire process
Yeah.
that happens. And you have to design purposefully what tool, what human, what team member, and what you get. And when you actually design it out and say what you're saying at the beginning, hey, I really like this part. This is the part I want to do, and I'm not giving it up because this is what lights my. I was going to say something bad, but
Your
this is
fire
what.
up. This is like your fire up. There we go.
uh, Thank you.
I got you. Family friendly TV here.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we design a real system and plug in
Mm,
who and what takes that part of it,
yeah.
now we're really designing, because so many people, they buy a tool, they buy one type of system,
You
and
gotta
now they're a
yeah.
slave.
Yeah. You got a rake in your garage that is not going to dig you a hole, So, I love, I teach on systems all the time, but I am not your systems girl. Go see Kathy. But one of the examples I love to give is, because here's the thing about a system. We talk about, for example, generating leads, right? Let's just talk about generating leads. One, that's a big topic. And within and under that umbrella, there are going to be multiple systems that you use to just do that one thing, and that's
Yep.
generate leads.
Yep.
One system many of you out there are familiar with is attending a virtual networking event. And so a great example of this process is, and I'm going to let you talk to your heart's desire. So this show will be as long as you like to be, Kathy, because I don't usually talk this much, but I love your topic so much that I'm stepping on your toes a tiny bit. But I'll attend attending a networking event, and sometimes I'll attend it, and sometimes I'll have a team member attend on my behalf. Then the next thing that happens is the chat saved, and then the next thing that happens is the chat is then put through. But that's not all the steps of the system, because if I attend it, let's just say I attend it, where is that chat saved? Because I'm not going to take that chat and do anything with it. But now somebody on my team has to retrieve the chat, import it into a tool that does a fancy thing with it, and then import that into the CRM system, and then and strategically, not spamming, by the way, reach out and follow up with people one time to say, hey, would you love would you like a meeting with Jessica to take the next
Yeah.
step together and get to know each other? And then this happens and that happens, and then a tag is assigned to them, and then the next follow up is assigned to them, and when they do something, then there's a series of things that happens. And this is just one example of a system that isn't been even dissected properly, and all of this needs to be a video plus a Word document and it's not as hard as you think, because if you just start doing the things you normally do that you wish I never had to do this again, and start recording it while you do it and talk to yourself while you do it, you're building these systems and you're building these tools for your, what is that thing called? There's a fancy name, SOPs, right? You're building your SOPs while you're doing your projects and getting your stuff done
Yeah.
at the same time.
Okay, but I need to challenge you on this,
Okay, go ahead.
because that's one of the places that founder-led businesses go wrong, is they document their process. And
Really?
as someone who, yeah, and as somebody who used to be in ISO and process management, that is just saying, I do what I say I'm going to do, and I document it. Okay, but are you optimized? Are you efficient? Are you achieving your
That's
goals? Are you
true.
achieving your vision? Is what you're doing the best way, or are you just documenting, this is
What
the way we've always done it?
Yeah, that's it. I think the very first step is deciding, well, what are we doing now? And then
Yeah.
the next step is probably really dissecting. All right, now we know what we're doing. is there a better way to do it? Is there a faster? Just starting to get into that myself, like with all these new AI agents and different tools that have workspaces that can take over, the everything's up leveling that can suddenly do these tasks for you. I'm going through and reevaluating, what really needs to be done by the humans, and what do the humans need to be monitoring, and how are we adjusting and updating all of our past and old systems and things I used to have someone do the way we used to do them, because now there's this new technology that could possibly do it better. But I'm doing it a little at a time. I'm not trying to change the whole works all at once because it just feels too overwhelming. So
Yep.
I'm trying to take things that I'm also trying to use the newest and latest and greatest out there to begin generating us revenue. So we're doing little tests and building little things to see, you know, what can this do that will actually make us money? Because if we can get that running in the background, then it'll be easy for us to spend time on reevaluating and reworking all the other systems that are just things that have to be done.
Yeah, that's where you need to start. You need to start with what your priority is. And
Yeah.
if your priority is consistent income, then that's where you first systematize and optimize. One of the things though that is really, really important to me that so many people are not considering is
Hmm.
they think about their offer, they think about their offer stack, they think about their funnels, but they never think about their buyer's journey other than creating an avatar. They
Hmm.
don't understand what the buyer is going through as they are figuring out whether you are their solution. So many times we're trying to sell something before the buyer even knows that they need what they need. And I see so many salespeople saying, but this is so perfect for them. This will solve their problems. And if only I could get them to see, but it doesn't matter if they're not ready to buy.
Well, and that's so true, because the funny thing is, one of the things I always ask my show guests is, what are your clients like experiencing, feeling, thinking? What is happening in their business, in their life, in their personal life, or in their world, where they are going to finally put their head in their hands and say, I really need a Kathy in my life? What is
Yeah.
happening? I always ask that question. So can you answer that? Because that's really even better than the avatar, and picking the thing you want to sell, the thing you're excited about, the thing you think your client needs. The real question is, what's happening in their world, in their life, and in their business, that I really can't keep going forward without an appointment with Kathy.
Yeah, I love this because I just recently wrote an article about the progression of websites. So, website 1.0 was yellow pages, basically. Here I am, here's my address, here's my phone number. And then it upgraded 2.0 to be a brochure. This is who we are, this is what we do, this is all about us. It was a glorified resume. And then we went to 3.0, which is funnels. Okay, get someone into the top of your funnel and force them through. This is the way you want them to go. But now we have so much information, so much ability for a buyer to go wandering
Choose
in
your
their
own adventure. Choose your
yeah,
own adventure now.
yeah. And so businesses that aren't creating ecosystems, and I hear people talk about ecosystems and they do it fluffily
Mm,
instead of really capturing. Okay, so if my buyer is now problem unaware, they're stressed out, they don't know what's going on, they don't know why everything is not working the way they want. They have not figured out what the solution is, so they definitely don't know that your solution is what they need. So they
mhm,
need education. So
mhm.
that's the first step. And so your business needs to provide information and
Yeah.
education and help them go, oh, this is where my problem is. Because we got to get to root cause, right? I love root cause analysis. Um, and then the buyer, once they understand, okay, so now I know where my problem is. What are the solutions that are available? What do I need? Do I need a pen or a pencil or a marker? Or do I need a whole coloring marker set? Things pop into my head at the weirdest times. But you know what I mean? It's like, okay, so what's all out there? And they go and they research. And it used to be that they would do what, 7 touch points before they would make a decision.
It's
Not
27
anymore.
now.
Yeah, it literally is. I mean, they're checking you out on podcasts and books and magazines and websites, and they're looking for reviews and referrals, and they're looking for proof. And, they're going through this huge amount of thing. And if you don't give them what they need, someone else will.
Yeah, and it's fascinating from a marketing standpoint, just as a side note, how back around things are coming. People are more excited about. I mean, I actually call people on the phone, and I start my conversation often with, "This is a real human. I drink water. I just had lunch. I'm not an AI call." Because every call now we're expecting it to be a robot, and
Yeah.
calls are now more valuable than they ever used to be. Where
Yep.
calls before were, "Oh, don't call me, don't call anybody, text everybody." So then everybody was texting, and now I have to put that in my text too. This is a real human. This is just one personal text to you, from Jesse to me, to you, from me, Jesse, to you. Um,
Yeah.
and those are appreciated. Real human text versus the auto text are now appreciated. And a postcard in the mail from a business is now getting more sites and views. And you want to really crack up. I'm watching this. I won't say which one, and I won't say which streaming network we're using, but we're using a streaming network to watch TV, which most of us are of some kind, right? And we're watching a show of all things about AI that uh, become more human or have feelings and all this other stuff. And the AI and the humans in the show are reading a magazine about the AI robots that are becoming, and they're back to a magazine, like remember magazines? And
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
coming back around because, the other thing I ran into, the Avon lady. No lie, I really ran into an Avon lady, and I wanted a catalog. And you would have think I had turned back time to the 1950s, but she said everybody's asking her for catalogs again, and people want them to sit in another room or outside or away from technology, away from their phone, and just have a cup of tea and thumb through a catalog, or a mail order catalog, or a magazine of some kind. So it's super fascinating to me that
Yeah.
even though we've advanced in all this stuff, thinking about how your people want to start receiving things again, you got to pay attention. You got to ask those questions.
Yeah,
That
yeah, because you are, but one of the things you were talking about the human touch and getting that somatic, visceral
Yes, the
experience.
feel, because
Yeah,
we're running away from our phones. We're locking them into rooms at certain times. We're giving them, we're beginning to limit our own screen time of all kind and disconnecting. And so that means we're going back to a lot of analog things that we love. I mean, record albums are hotter than ever. I mean,
sourdough bread.
I know, or they're people from making it from scratch. No bread machines, by the way, in a
Nope,
starter,
nope.
in a jar, 3 ingredients. It's a thing. It
It
is
is.
a thing. It's so fascinating to me. So pay attention to what's happening with society and human beings in general, but really specifically your clients. And I love, Kathy, that what you're saying is, when my clients come to me, they're coming to me for a piece of education. And in that education discovery, then they're really going, "Oh, that's the problem I couldn't put my finger on, our name. Oh, those are the solution options I have. Oh, I really need to talk to this Kathy Systems girl and learn
Yeah.
more about this next thing." That's like how I made you like 5 years old and called you girl. Um,
Hey, at
Beautiful
my age,
young
I'll take it.
lady, beautiful young lady, intelligent woman, whatever the correct thing is. Don't write me a text or send me a letter or an email about that. I didn't do anything wrong. I love and respect and value her, whatever she'd like to label herself. I don't,
I'm a 61-year-old grandma. I'm good with that.
I'm a young hot nana, and that's what I'm going with. But I feel like I'm still inside me lives a vibrant, excited, really funny 16-year-old girl who has a
Yeah.
lot of fun. And I still feel like I'm a young lady in some cases, especially when I decide to use my manners. And I'm also an intelligent, strong, bad, you know what, beep, business lady,
Yeah.
and I'm all the things, I'm just
Yep.
all the things. I'm a wife who's madly in love with her hot hunky husband and still gets butterflies in her stomach, and we're just all the things. So yeah,
Love
okay,
it.
sometimes I slipped up and I called you a girl, but some people really get offended, and I
Oh my goodness. Oh my
don't have
goodness.
time for that.
That's
I don't have that much
crazy.
energy to be offended about things like that. Roll back the time, put me as a girl and roller skates somewhere. I love that. Go right ahead. No
And
offense here.
but the reason, Jessica, that you are able to put so much passion into what you're doing and picking up the phone and still being so vibrant and alive is because you have the systems
Oh yeah.
behind you.
And
That means you're not doing it all, being it all, carrying it all. And so you get to pick where you shine. And those systems allow your clients and people in your world to interact with you on their schedule.
yeah,
You know, that's what I love about. I think my website has voice agents, it has chat bots, it has all of that on there
sure.
because there are people who say, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I want an
Oh,
answer
sure.
now. And so being able to have that there and then book an appointment to
Mhm.
have time with so it meets everybody's needs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all of the things. Like even I've been listening to people talk about SEO. They're still kind of stuck in the past of how it's working, and then AEO and the new website stuff. And the answer isn't one or the other, it's both. Both
Yes.
things are true. Both things are needed. I think people are forgetting about balance, and I'm with you. I do believe in automation and using AI where it's appropriate and when it's very transparent and ethical, right? So
Absolutely.
when it is a
Absolutely.
text coming from me, I'm going to say, for your convenience, and so that I can answer you immediately, this is an AI text. Or if it's a bot, hey, Jessica is asleep right now, and so is her team, but you are getting an answer from me. And if you'd like to talk to a real human, here's how you do it because we want to serve you any way you want to be served. But yeah,
Yes.
we want people to be able to have their answers right now if that's what they want, as long as they're okay with the terms. The terms are you
Yeah.
also care about me enough, um, even if it's just as a business owner, to allow me to have a life and go on vacation and have a family and friends and a team that takes care of, like you said, a lot of this. Um, so that
Yeah.
that's the deal. And if that's not okay with you, then I'm probably not the right person to serve you because I like my freedom.
And that is the beauty of where we are right now is we get to build a business that allows us to live a life and serve at our highest
Yeah,
instead of sucking the energy out of a founder
yeah,
by expecting them to carry the weight of everything on their shoulders. That's not a business. The one thing that I always talk about is extracting that knowledge from you, putting it in the business so the business can then carry that on. If it's all on your shoulders all the time, if you have to be the one answering the questions all the time, if you have to be the one making the decisions over and over and over and over, and that's the one thing that most of my clients talk about is the monotonous, repetitive things, the same questions, the same emails.
sounds
It's
like we
like,
need
well,
an
then,
FAQ. Maybe
yeah,
a video format or something. But here's the thing.
yeah,
So many people are afraid. Well, if I stop doing that, then my customers won't like it. And here's what I have to say to them. You know what? I decided a long time ago, people will tell you and show their real, true version of themselves. And I will call someone and say, I mean, even if, if my kid is sick or if a school function comes up and we had booked it a week ago and I didn't realize the school function come up, I'm going to call you and personally and say, hey, I'm super sorry to inconvenience you. You really matter to me and I really want to feature you, talk with you, whatever it is we planned. Now if I'm speaking, I'm not going to, miss my commitment. But otherwise, if it's something that's okay for us to reschedule, I'm going to ask you to. And if
Yeah.
you're not okay with it, then that's telling me something about, are we a good match? Because values and family values are the top of my list. And I have even run into a couple of calendar links where you fill out all the information and it says, and if you're 3 minutes late, you can't reschedule, and all these other things. And I'm thinking, oh no, there's no grace here. I give grace all the time because I need it all the time. And so
Mhm.
that's not a good match for me. I'm a grace giver and I need to occasionally receive it. Hey man, sometimes Zoom doesn't let me in on time. I started trying to get in 5 minutes early and I'm 3 minutes late because it's technology. I can't control that. Or life and things happen, right? So as long as you're kind and professional and respectful, I don't know, give some people some grace, because one day you might need some too, is what my feeling is. But that tells you things, right? There are clues. And you just have to
Yep.
decide, what kind of customers do you want? When you own
Yep.
your own business, that's one of the great things. You get to pick the ones you want.
Yep. A saying that I've been living by for the last couple of years: allow misalignment to show itself.
Yes.
And when misalignment shows itself, then you just say, thank you for the information. I
Hmm.
wish you all the best. I'm not your
I
person.
do. Yeah. And sometimes I even send them to other people or provide resources or other information. I try to be super, super helpful and kind and gentle about the whole process. But yeah, and it's okay. I'm 53 and fabulous, and I'm finally just really okay with that.
I
Right? I
love it.
think, we're all connected. I never wish anyone but success, joy, health, love, happiness,
Yeah.
because we're all connected. And why would I wish any extremity or any part of me on harm? I don't, genuinely. But
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that we're all going to directly work together, even though we're all connected on some energy level, right? At least
Absolutely.
that's what I think.
I could not agree with you more, because if we are putting people pleasing into our business as our business model, that everyone needs to do things our way, or we are so controlled. Because one of the case studies I put in my book was someone who built a system based on their fears. And
No,
so they built a system that was micromanaging
they were
everything.
miserable.
They were miserable, but so was there everybody in the team, because when you're micromanaging, or you're trying to force everything to do, or anybody to do things your way, like you were talking about, these people who say, if you're going to be late, then I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
That's them trying to control
Am I the only?
respect, or
I've seen at least a handful of those kinds of. Have you seen them? Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
I was like, whoa! I was very surprised.
Yeah, yeah.
True, true
I've
story.
gotten
Can't
some
make this
pretty,
stuff up.
yeah, I've gotten some pretty nasty things happening. I'm like, okay, bye bye.
With love.
Yep, yep. But that's the beauty of where we are now. We get to choose,
We really do. We have so
and
many choices.
we get to design
Mm,
our own system. When
yeah.
we were talking about SOPs, just documenting the way things were. What
Mm,
if you sat back and said, "Huh, this is where my process starts, but this is where I want it to end.
mhm.
How do I design and map and get architect what the end result is that I want?"
Yeah.
And that's what I love doing. Yes, I know tools, I know automations and workflows and AI, and I implement them. But the thing that lights me up is, how do we do this?
Yeah.
How do we achieve the goal? How do we create that feeling? Because
Mhm.
that's what finally was named after, is that feeling you get when you say the word finally.
Ah, yeah, that is a good word. That was a
Isn't
good
it?
choice. I love that you did that. All right, so people realize they finally need to give you a call, or
Okay.
your training, or do a workshop. What's the first step for them to reach out to you? Say, all right, I already know something's pinching me. I need to make this call. I need some education. I need some systems in my life. I need something that's going to help me. And I think Kathy Girl can do it. What do they do first?
Well, you get to self-select. So if you want to give me a call and book an appointment in my calendar where we have a one-on-one conversation, we figure it out together, my calendar link is right on my website. If you want to do some investigation and figure things out and learn who I am and how I do things, my website's there for you. If you're curious and you want to play, I have proof and tools and resources and a working interactive lab on my website. It really, yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool. And it's still a work in progress. There's still things that I'm
Hey,
updating on.
we're always cooking.
Yeah. But it all depends
All
on
right,
what
website. It starts with the
web,
website.
finallybusinesssystems.com, or if you, yeah, that's my main one. Or if you wanted to look me up under my name, it's kathybaldwin.me. And either way, I am fully open and accessible. The first thing I do when I work with someone is I do an audit where we
Okay.
sit down and just pull the gold out and
Well,
then
don't
get
be
the
afraid.
vision.
The very first thing is just a conversation. But then after
Yeah.
that, and you've said, yes, I'm in, let's go, let's move forward. Then she takes you through that journey. So finallybusinesssystems.com, is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Or kathybaldwin.me
With a K.
with a K. And I'm introduced and interrupting you because I want to make sure they can find you. So
Perfect.
then you after you've had a discovery call and you've agreed that you both really want to jump in and do it, you have this beautiful nugget discovering conversation. Then what?
Then we design and architect the vision and the journey and align the buyer path to the offer stack and find the gaps, friction, bottlenecks, and roadblocks that are in the way and redesign or systematically do it in phases.
Mhm.
Each customer has a different way of doing things. There is not a one size fits all, which I think is one of the things that our entire industry is being waken up to.
Yeah.
No more is there, I have the exact solution. And if you follow my way, then you're going to have amazing results. We aren't a one size fits all people, and we're not a one size fits all business.
Well, I think a new and you're saying something really brilliant. There is not a one size. I'm going to start us off with kind of just an aha moment as well as a tip, and then I'm going to get Kathy to give us an awesome one. It really, if you're out there and you love AI, really we're going to begin to need AI consultants because truthfully, just like you're talking about, there is no one size fits all. Everything needs to be redesigned. People are asking, are you using AI in your business? And everyone's saying, yes, of course, because there's about 5,000 different kinds of it and how you can use it. But are they using it to the way to, like you said, to fit into their systems? That's a whole nother, and that'll be a great, you guys will be great referral partners. But I think a whole new human is going to be developed that just sits back and evaluates all of the different options from that world of it.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating that everyone's worried about jobs being lost, but new jobs are just being created. It's just different, totally
Oh, for
different. Yeah.
we NASA put a rocket on the moon with handwritten pencil to paper mathematicians figuring out how to do it. NASA's not using pencil and paper anymore, and the space program is bigger than it's ever been.
Yeah.
The tools change. We have to
Yeah.
adapt. We're not plowing fields with ox and whatever that thing is behind anymore. We have
I love
they,
you.
do you know that I saw that they have a plow that will plow a farmer's field while someone's working a joystick like a drone?
Well, that just sounds fun.
I know. So someone's sitting there plowing, or I even saw how AI has mapped out the field, and it can run all night without someone monitoring it, so the farmer can go to sleep and sleep.
But here's what's fascinating to me, like you were talking about NASA, right? I mean, even code that's being written inside these different AI tools now, it's making mistakes, and a human or three humans, sometimes now, depending on how large the code is, have to go through and check the work. So, we still need to keep our brains intact.
That I'm so glad you brought that up, because it is so important that we do not substitute our intelligence for a tool's intelligence.
It's true.
We must be the decision maker. We must be the driver. We must be the one who is in the driver's seat and using the tools for what they are meant to be used for.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people, they're using AI and they're just getting junk mirrored back at them because they don't know how to really work the tool. They don't know how to develop it and get it to give them the exact amazing responses that are possible. You have to know what you're doing.
You do. I think even versions of hard paper maps are going to come back in some form.
Yeah, no, I won't do that.
Because people need to know how to read a map. And there are times when there is no map GPS, there is no MapQuest, there is no Wave or any of other map tool out there. And, someone's going to need to be able to figure out where and how to get somewhere. So I don't think maps are going to be, completely erased. And I think there's going to be some version of that's going to come out and come back around again. So it'll be fascinating to see what happens with that. That's a mini prediction, but I need you to give us an amazing tip for sure.
Okay. So the thing that I want to say is if your business is reliant on you,
Mm-hmm.
and you are so proud of how much you're involved in your business, you don't own a business. Your business owns you.
Yeah. Yeah. We want you to have fun every day. We don't want you to feel like work, but we also want you to be able to walk away from it for a week, a month, 3 months if you wanted to, and have the people, systems, and ability to have it continue flourishing, serving your clients at the top level and filling your bank account, even when you're not around. And I think that's something that's amazing that you've decided to gift your life doing that for other people so that they can have that kind of freedom, if that's the kind of freedom they want. So that's super
Yeah,
cool.
but I think it's what I'm sorry. I have to jump in
Go
on this
ahead.
one, because it is more than that. When you bring a client into your business, they have entrusted you.
Yeah.
And now you have to honor that promise. And that promise cannot be as fragile as when you're going to be the only one who can fulfill it.
Yeah.
If something happens to you, if something happens to your family, anything, whether you choose it or not, life happens.
That's
And
right.
our promises to our clients can't be as fragile as us being there. We have to have those backup systems. We have to be able to know that the promise outlives us.
Well, and when you do that, you're creating a legacy and a business that can be sold. Because when people buy businesses, they don't buy um, the they're buying the systems. They're buying the systems, they're your contacts and your systems, your
Yep.
connections and your systems. That, especially when you don't have a building or a manufacturing plant or a physical something to buy. When they're buying your business, they're buying your ideas, your process, your personal magic sauce, and your connections. That's the big purchase that's happening in this kind of space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And that's why I always start with founder intelligence extraction, because you got to get it out of your head and you got to put it in the business so it can survive without you.
Yeah, and a lot of people like is as solopreneurs or really small business owners that have, a virtual team or have a couple of employees in place, really need that key person insurance as well. And I think that's something else that gets forgotten. Again, I'm not an attorney. We're not giving you financial, legal, or whatever advice. We're just having a conversation here. Don't go crazy on me. Okay. So I love that tip. And let's talk about, let's inspire someone. Let's encourage them to give time, treasure, or talent to amazing cause out there, or just realize just making a post about your cause, or your cause's next big charity event, or whatever's happening. Awareness is huge. It is not just, it seems like a simple thing because it is a simple thing to do, but it has so much weight and so much power for these causes out there. It helps them get more of the people that they want to serve with their amazing cause, and it also helps them recruit time, treasure, and talent of other humans who hear about it and learn about it and go, "Oh, that's wonderful! I'm on board. How can I help them?" Or it may just remind them that they have their own cause that they're madly in love with, and they've just gotten busy with life and haven't given a call lately. And so they'll, moving and inspiring someone to action in the world of causes that are so many out there. They're doing so many great things. This is the point of this segment of the show. With that being said, Kathy, share with us a cause that's close to your heart.
Well, I have two that I have donated so much time, energy, money, resources to. And the first one is mental health, suicide prevention. And
Right.
the other is abused women being able to restart all over again.
Everybody deserves to realize how valuable and loved and important their lives are, and also have a safe and healthy, wonderful space to grow and thrive. And so, two amazing and beautiful causes. Stick the cause you love in the comments, share it with others, make a post about it, do something great with it. Because you know what? It's not always just about us. So, we want to step out there. That's what makes profound professionals profound, right? They're doing great things for their own business, for other people's businesses, and for other people's clients, but they're also impacting the world in even bigger, beautiful ways like this. How about a book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business? You got a book to share with us?
I do. My favorite book, well, I have two. Simon Sinek, Start with Why, but Atomic Habits. Yeah, Atomic Habits. James Clear. He has a quote in there that I always, always live by, and that is, "You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems."
Oh, well, that's a big one. Let's take that one in for a minute. You do not rise to the level of your goals,
You fall to the level of your
the
systems.
level of your systems. I'm trying to get my head
Your
really around
systems become your
that.
uh, thermometer set, the
Mm.
regulator.
That's a fascinating one. Very good. Very good. I really love them because, our why can anchor us out of bed when we just don't feel like doing the things that we need to do to keep our word impeccable, and to keep to do our very best with our clients.
Yeah,
And sometimes, even when we do our very best and our word is impeccable, we are still sometimes, even with the best of systems, going to disappoint a client or two. And all we can do is then have a system for, okay, when things don't go quite as well as we like them, what is the most I can do, or the best I can do in this situation, with concessions or support or offerings. And then sometimes you just have to let them choose. And even then, sometimes people aren't going to be happy. So it does happen. You have to come to terms with that and be okay with it. But that why anchors us out of bed when we really need it, or lifts us up when we're not sure that we have the energy to do one more minute. And
yeah,
and and the atomic habit is possible when you have that why to anchor you out, and stay consistent, so that you can actually have it truly be a habit. So I love both of those things. And I love
yeah.
that
Reminders
you do it.
first.
I did that book with a book club of mine. I'm in a women's book club on Friday mornings. And I don't remember that quote. And we went through the
Really?
whole entire book. And so I love that you pulled that out. That was powerful. But even more powerful, you have a book you've written. Talk to us about that.
Yes, my book is going to be released in November. It's the fourth one I've written, but this one
Me
is about business,
too.
and it's world. You are not the system. And in it, I talk about everything we've talked about: extracting founder intelligence, systematizing it, legacy, how to use systems and tools. There is so much in there that I believe it is simple, short, but to the point, and I cannot wait for it to be released.
And I think one of the most wow moments that, and I'm sure you cover this in the book, for me in this call has been not just systemizing everything, but making sure those systems are optimized, and
Yes.
and that itself has to have a system, because I don't know, annually or semi-annually or quarterly, systems need to be reevaluated again and say, are they still optimized? Because maybe they were optimized based on the moment, but we're talking about now. I have all kinds of great systems, and now I'm having to reevaluate them all. And that's what we're going through, a little at a time. We're doing it, systematically again. We have a plan and a process of how we're going to take each one and then ask ourselves the questions with the tools and things that are available now, as AI has so very rapidly developed.
Yeah.
Is this system that we're using optimized for this? And I say never do that alone. Get a Kathy in your life. I'm doing it with my team. We're doing it from a brainstorming. Always include
Yeah.
people who are actually doing the work. Get experts and other people involved in the conversation.
Yeah.
Don't just look at it yourself, because it's just the forest for the trees. You know,
Yeah. All you're going to do is mirror back what you already know. And because if you
you need
knew more,
other
you would
people's
do more.
ideas. Exactly. You need other people's ideas for sure.
Yeah,
Sure. I
absolutely.
love that. I love that. This has been so fun.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope you've had as much fun as I have.
Absolutely. I can't believe that the time's gone so
I know.
fast.
I'm like, wow, this is a record time, long podcast, but that's all right. I'm having a lot of fun, so who cares? Uh, Gives us a lot of content to dissect later in little microbites,
Ooh, I
Yeah,
hope so.
microbites. That sounds good.
I hope so. I
If
hope so.
you're
That's one of my philosophies is you do something once and you repurpose that content.
Amen, man.
Don't
Amen.
don't let the gold die.
I'm sure there's some really great facial expressions that we'll have some funny gifts about later that I've made, because I'm pretty expressive. But that being said, if you're out there thinking, wait, I have a really long story to tell, I have books to talk about and causes and great journeys, taking my clients on or taking customers on, or I can improve someone's personal life so they can live the best version of themselves, or I am a huge CEO or CFO or C something of 100 more employees, or one of the Fortune 1000s, and we are doing some great things in the world personally for causes as well as for the world globally. We're starting a new segment of our show. If any of that describes you out there, well, reach out to us and our team. We'll tell you just how to get booked on the show. But before we close out, we are not letting Kathy get away without a final thought, a piece of information or inspiration as we go. So inspire us, Kathy. No pressure. Go now.
I wasn't sure what I was going to share with this, but what I want to say is that every single one of us has a purpose and a special gift. And getting that gift into the world, I think, is what humanity is designed for. And on my little soapbox here, I believe with all of my heart that when we all step into the most humanist of ourselves, living within our purpose and our passion, we will end war, famine, environmental issues. There's going to be no way that any of that can survive when we are all living our best lives individually.
I love that. I love that. One of the quotes from my world and my book is, people matter most. And so, you know what, I hope you people out there choose some joy in your life. I'm your host, Jessica Koch, and this has been, yes, I'm going to say it, another amazing profound professionals. I hope you think so too. But until the next one, until we see you next time, remember, please just give this an effort. Be really super kind to yourself out there, and be kind to
Mm.
each other. Bye, everybody.